I've made a decision to run in the election because I am fed up listening to both the left and the right fighting over the breadcrumbs left on the table and not addressing the main issue as to where the actual loaf of bread has gone and the bankers who've taken the loaf of bread. And until such time as we address those issues, we're not going to achieve anything and no change is possible.
I've been given 5 minutes to talk about the corporatisation of our resources. International financial interests see fit to place an illegal, odious debt on our backs. This debt is not our debt, it's illegal under international law. Now they seek to use this indebtedness to rob our resources and take financial advantage of the entire population. A classic move. Indebt the country, turn us into debt slaves, then plunder our resources. Let us here today stand together and assert our rights as sovereign people. And we are sovereign. We are sovereign. Let us assert our right to the control and ownership of our resources. The government owns nothing, we do. Just remember that. They use buzzwords and fear-based propaganda like water shortages. Well, did you ever? Right. Pollution control. They even dare to take control of our seed, thereby taking control of our very food supply. The Troika has, through austerity, transformed Ireland and an economic decline into the most rapid economic collapse in modern history. And we're all here struggling day to day when most of us should be retired, trying to survive. Now, they don't ask us to pay for the very water we drink, they command us to pay for the water we drink, to enrich the very same multinational bankers that robbed us in the first place. The Troika and the ECB are now dependent on banks to launder this odious illegal debt, and the banks have become dependent on the ECB to provide them with cheap money. Effectively, we're living in a corporate state. As long as we're content to be lied to, rather than face up to the disgraceful truth, and everyone in this room, we can't do this on our own. Everyone has to stand their ground and take back this country and take back our resources. If we fail to do it, the status quo will be maintained. We have to have the courage. We need a culture of caring about the future generations. And the longer Ireland continues to comply with this illegal bailout and the agreement to sell off our assets, the debt burden will become even greater. We must put these international financial vested interests on notice that Ireland, as Paul said, Ireland is not for sale. I'd like to put a vote to the floor, and the vote is to notify these people. Please note that any contract signed in relation to the disposal of state assets as a result of an illegal, odious debt, where irregularity or corruption is suspected, will be legally reviewed by the people of Ireland. I'd like a show of hands in support of that contention. Thank you very much. We'll take that as a vote of yes. Thank you. Do we have your permission to place an ad in the newspaper to that effect?
Yes.
Thank you. You have 420 million people living in an economic and financial system no one voted for. Ireland has 80% of our laws originating from a body no one voted for. 27 countries have accepted a system that makes China and Zimbabwe look democratic. If Ireland was run by 27 unelected members, there would be an outcry. We have to stand together and take back our country. We were stitched up and we were stitched in by incompetent politicians and international financial thugs. Now it's time for us to stand together, shoulder to shoulder, and very carefully undo their corrupt stitch-up. Thank you.
The party whip system and the party system in Ireland is not working. It has destroyed democracy. It has destroyed the country. Our founding fathers gave us direct democracy in our first constitution. and it was over a number of years left out of the redrafting of the Constitution, and it was never put to the people. I have absolute faith in the wisdom of the Irish people. I have no faith at all in the party whip system or the manner in which they're going about ruling this country. The party whip system basically means that when you vote for somebody and they put their policies forward, that's not necessarily what you get once government is formed, because 2 or 3 individuals will make the decisions as to what's best for the country. They don't consult with anyone. They certainly don't consult with the people. And it's not necessarily always in the interest of the Irish people. We really don't know who has the influence and who has the ear of government. I was a founding member of Direct Democracy Ireland because I believed that they could possibly change the manner in which politics was conducted in Ireland. But then I realised you actually don't need a party to implement direct democracy. And that's why I'm running as an independent. It is my intention to put the structures in place whereby the people of Dublin Mid-West can make their views known and their vote count on serious issues that come before the House. That is my absolute commitment to them. It is not my intention to run for a second term. It is my intention to put the structures in place so that they can participate on an ongoing basis in democracy and the running of this country. Over the last number of years, I've been studying very carefully the workings of some of the main pillar banks, and I have been shocked at what I've found. The Financial Services Authority in Great Britain have found similar fraud, and they have fined the banks substantial amounts of money and called it fraud. Yet I have put reports into the Department of Finance, I've put reports into the Fraud Squad and to the Central Bank and to the European Central Bank in Europe, and nobody seems fit to address the issue. I sincerely hope that the people of Dublin Mid-West will trust me with their votes and honour me with their vote. I will only be running for the one term to try to achieve and bring in direct democracy. That is my aim, so that the people have a say, as we've had enough of this saying one thing and doing another.